What is up, YouTube? Brute Cactus here, coming at you guys with another video. As you know, it doesn't look like the normal videos I do. It doesn't look like frag videos at all. And I will get into that in a different video if you guys would like that. But for this video, we are going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go down to a down section. And I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the game Magic the Gathering. I have been playing it for a long time now, since I was in high school basically. But I play the format Commander, I play Standard, and I play Modern. I do also play Pioneer, but I don't have a deck built right now for that, so we won't get into that. But we're going to be going over the Commander format. We're going to be going over Calamax, the Stormsire. For those of you that don't know what Commander is, it's a 100 card format. You're only allowed to run 100 cards with the exception of a companion. If you guys don't know what that is, go ahead and do some research. Just look it up on Google and you can learn all about the Commander format. But with that being said, we're going to jump right down into the up and close section, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what you should take out of the deck, what you should throw into the deck to make your first upgrades to Kalamax. And if you guys would like to see an update to what I kind of refine my list to later down the road, I will definitely be posting one, so keep an eye out for that. And with that being said, we're going to jump right down to the bottom. Alright guys, so we're down to the up and close portion, and let's hop into this. Here's Callimax. If you guys want to pause the video, read up on what he does, and then we can move on. But the short and sweet version of it, if you don't want to pause the video, he copies instances for the first time you play him, and then he gets just super big with counters. There is an infinite combo with him. I'm not really going to get into the combo in this video, but if you guys would like to see a video on that, I could definitely make that happen. But let's jump into the cards that I put into the deck. I did a lot of research on this deck before I purchased it so that I could sit there and put the right cards in. So let's get into this. For the green, we've got one Beanstalk Giant, super good. With some of the cards in the deck, you can copy the sorcery and just go berserk with your lands that you get. Super good. Same with Rampant Growth. I don't know why this wasn't in the deck to begin with. This card is phenomenal. I don't know why Kodama's Reach isn't in the deck either. I did not throw that in this deck because I do not own a copy of it. Didn't want to pick one up just quite yet if Rampant Growth would have been enough. So, with that being said, there's only Rampant Growth in the deck. Then we've got Return of the Wild Speaker. This card is bonkers. This card basically says you've got a massive Kalamax that's going to do a lot of damage to your opponent real quick. And if you don't feel like you want to do that, you just basically draw cards for a huge Kalamax. So either mode on this is busted. So we're going to move on to the blue. Probably one of the most important spells in the deck, period, which is Narcy Reversal. This just lets you go infinite with Kalamax, basically. So that's why we play it. And you'll see we play another version of this. You'll see that we play another version of this, when we get to it. Then Factor Fiction. If you're playing blue, you have to play Factor Fiction, basically. This is like the most played blue spell, period. Every blue deck should play it. And then we've got Mystic Confluence. This card's busted, but I'm not a big fan of it in this build particularly because you can't counter multiple things. unless one opponent plays something and then another plays something and then another, and so forth. But other than that, this card's pretty phenomenal. Then that's it for the blue. We're going to move on to the red. We've got Backdraft Hellkite. When this deck got released, I had already had this card, and I immediately was like, I'm throwing this in when it got leaked. Because this card just lets you copy anything from the, or play anything from the graveyard for its flashback cost, which is its mana cost. So this thing is just busted. Super good. Then we've got Seize the Day. This just lets you attack another time in your turn. So it's super, super good. Same with War of the World, or War at World. This just lets you attack again. And you can copy it with a bunch of stuff too. So super good. Then Fury of the Hoard. This card's pretty much the same thing, but it's pretty much free. Lets you attack again, but you can dump 2 red cards from your hand to the exile, and this is free. So pretty good. And then I threw a Rolling Thunder in here, just for another way to get creatures off the board or deal damage to my opponent. You guys do not have to play this card if you don't want to, but I just thought it was such a good card that I wanted a copy of it in here. And then the last spell we play for red is Increasing Vengeance. This is basically Narcy Reversal with a flashback cost. So if you don't get to do your combo with it originally, you can buy it back from the graveyard and do it all over again. So super good. That's it for the red. Moving on to the multicolored. We've got Nivix Guildmage. I had already had this card. This card is phenomenal. Allows you to copy, so as like blue and red fits into Calamax, playing it. I've always liked this card. There's an infinite combo with this card and a green card that I just don't have. Gives you all colors. I just don't have it, so we're not playing that combo. But we don't really need it in this deck, but that is an option if you guys want to put that in here. I don't know the card name off the top of my head because I don't play that. But moving on, we've got one Ral Storm Conduit. I don't know why this card is super cheap. If I were you guys watching this that actually play Magic the Gathering and play Commander format, I'd go pick this up right now. Even if you don't have a red-blue deck, this card will skyrocket in price come the next couple years due to Calamax. This card and Calamax and any copy spell, any spell that copies like Narcy Reversal or Increasing Vengeance, just instantly kills anything, any opponent. So you could be losing the game, draw the combo, play the combo, never have it countered, and game your opponents. Keyword opponents. So like 3 or 4 opponents, however many people you're playing with in a game of Commander. So pretty cool. And then the last multicolored spell is Genesis Ultimatum. I just thought this was kind of cool to play. You can also copy it so you can go dig for your spells that you need to win. So super good. Now moving on to the colorless stuff. We've got one Smugglers Copter. For those of you that do play Magic the Gathering, you will know that this card is phenomenal. It's not as good in Commander as it has been in other formats like Pioneer, Modern, Standard. So with that being said, I was cool playing it. Super good card. Lets you tap Calamax to get his effect off. Same with Cultivator's Caravan. But this also does let you have an extra source of mana so that you can pay for stuff in other ways. So it's pretty cool. And then probably one of the most broken artifacts in the deck is Honor Worn Shaku. And this just lets you get Calamax tapped, and it counts as 2 mana. So this thing's by far the most targeted artifact on the board when I do play. So, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Still gonna play it. And then we've got Ketria Crystal. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's good that it gives options to all the colors in the deck, but I don't know if I'm going to continue playing it, but it's in the deck for now. And then Arena of Ancients. This is busted. This just makes it to where Calamax can always copy a spell. So I think that's kind of good. And it holds your opponent's legendary creatures tapped so that they can't do anything to you with them. So that's pretty good. Then Primal Amulet. Primal Amulet, super good. Makes your things cost 1 colorless less. And then if you have 4 counters on this, you flip it into a land. That just helps you copy a bunch of your spells. So that's super, super relevant. But it's a little hard to get your counters going on it. But your opponent's not really too worried about it being on the board, because it does take 2 to 3 turns to actually do what you want to do with it. So, but that's it for the colorless cards. Now we're moving on to the lands. Started off, we do have an Evolving Wilds. I did stick this in here for the simple fact that there wasn't Evolving Wilds or Terramorphic Expanse in here, and I love playing with them in the decks that I do play. I just find it helps smooth out the mana base or the land base better. I generally play with both, as you'll see in some of my other profiles if I do profile my commander decks. But this just basically makes it a little smoother, plus it gives you that extra shuffle. And then for the next land, we're going to talk about 2, actually, instead of just 1. We've got Holdout Settlement and Survivor's Encampment. They both basically do the same thing. They allow you to tap an untapped creature to add a color of any to your mana pool. This is super relevant because it allows you to tap Calamax. So the more ways you have to tap Calamax, the better. So works pretty well. And then for the last land that we play a copy of Shiva Reef. Shiva Reef is amazing. I don't know why it wasn't originally printed in this deck list. It was printed in the Jeskai Cycling deck list, but I figured pick one up, throw it in. What's the worst thing that could happen is I don't need it, take it out. Sure. Alright, now we're going to move into the cards that I decided to take out. Like we did with the cards I put in, we're going to start with green. I decided to take out Ravenous Gigantic Cerium. This card is just garbage. You destroy something on your opponent's side of the field, maybe multiple things, to destroy your creature, basically. So, kind of sucks. I mean, if I was playing a Persist build that allowed me to bring it back, sure. But I don't care for this card. I think it's garbage. Same with Hunting Pack. 7 mana to create 1 token is garbage. I get that it will copy itself for each spell you pay before it, but I'd rather just play something way better than getting, like, say, 1 to 2 tokens. You know what I mean? This is only good in the late game, so I figured take it out. You know what I mean? Then Curious Herd. My playgroup doesn't play a huge amount of artifacts, so I just figured not very good, take it out. Then Predatory Impetus. My playgroup basically decided that we didn't want to play Goad, that it's unfair, so we all decided to take out all the impetuses. So then Hunter's Insight I took out because I just never really got value off of it. That's pretty much it. Evolution Charm. I really want to try to find a spot to put this in for. I might end up just sticking in it for the Ketria Crystal or Ketria Crystal. I haven't decided quite yet. If I do stick it back in, that's what I'm going to be putting it in for. I'm also waiting for in the mail a copy of Leaf Spring Drum. And you could also put that in place of the crystal too. That's probably what I'm going to do. So, works out. And then Tribute to the Wind, like I said, artifacts, not really played, taking it out. That's it for the green. For the the blue, took out Ascent Metamorph. I don't want to give my opponent multiple turns. Plus, I don't also want to sit there and not know what this is going to be. You know what I mean? So, took it out. Same with Eon Folliker. Didn't want to give my opponent an extra turn. And I just thought this wasn't that good. You know what I mean? Another Impetus. Like I said, Goad. Took it out. Swarm Intelligence. You guys are probably wondering, why did I take this out if it copies spells? It's sorceries. Because it's a 7 cost and you can't get it down quick enough. Pretty much it. Moving on to the red stuff. We've got 1 copy of Dual Caster Mage. I thought about putting this back in the deck, but I never used it when I had it, so I cut it from the deck. Simple as that. Another Impetus, Goad, took it out. Lava Brink, Floodgates. This card is garbage. Yes, it does 6 to your opponent's creature and gives you 2 free mana, but you're really only going to get 4 mana off of this, which is what you paid for it, and then deal 6. So I figured, take it out. You know what I mean? Not really that relevant. Then Surreal Memory, or whatever it's called. Basically, this returns a random card from your graveyard to your hand. Instant card. Yeah, this could be great, but it doesn't get you what you want. So that's why I decided to take it out. Then Clash of the Titans. You don't care to fight other creatures. So this is garbage. So that's why we took it out. So that's it for the red. We're going to move into the multicolored. We've got Primal Empathy. I don't know why this is in the deck. This basically just puts counters on stuff, and if there's counters that, or if you have the biggest creature, you draw cards. So it's not a terrible card, but I just felt like it didn't fit the whole entire deal of this deck, so I took it out. And then Artifact Mutation, took this out because, once again, we don't play a lot of artifacts in the group that I play with, so we decided to take it out. Channeled Force. If I do find some room, I will put this back in because this card's actually relatively great. I just needed something to cut, and this was one of the options, so I cut it. So that's it for the multicolored cards. Moving on to the colorless card, we only got one, and that is Bonder's Ornament. This card is just garbage. You don't want your opponents to draw extra cards, and it only adds you 1 mana of any color. So you're paying 3 to get 1 back? Nah, not good. So just garbage. Now moving on to the lands. We took out 3 lands. We took out Scavenger's Grounds. If you feel like you want to have a way to get rid of a graveyard, sure, play this by all means. I'm probably going to put this in a different deck that I have that has deserts in it. But, you know, I'm going to take this out of this deck for sure. I don't need graveyard removal basically, so that's what it is. Then we took out Rupture Spire. Just not. I didn't want to pay the 1 when it comes in. You know what I mean? Yes, it adds any color, but paying that 1 on the turn that it would come in definitely hurts. And the fact that it comes in tapped, yeah, no thank you. And then I took out Mossfire Valley. Wasn't a fan of this at all. Played a bunch of games where I got it, and I just never cared to pay the 1. So, had to come out. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Big Daddy Calamax, the Stormsire. Let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comment section below. Also, hit that thumbs up button. It definitely goes a long way. And if you guys are brand new to my channel and haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.